Welcome to New Day Cleveland. I am Natalie Herbeck, and today we are exploring Gordon Square. It is an awesome arts neighborhood. We've done the show a couple of times before, but we had to come back again. Not only is it amazing, but it's constantly changing here. So you're going to find arts, you're going to find great food, you're going to find awesome places to shop, and it's a lakefront neighborhood too. So there's so much to explore here, and I say you should come along for the ride. And we're going to stop right here first at Ninja City. All right, Bach, are you ready? This is a lot of pressure. You're kicking off the show for us.
Oh, I don't know if I can do it.
I think you can, and
okay.
I think this food is going to speak for itself.
All right.
I love Ninja City for so many reasons, but I think one of the coolest things about it is just kind of how you and your friend Dylan really started this whole thing and the whole idea of what Ninja City is all about.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. Somebody the other night, we were busy, and a customer was like, you know, like it feels like a teenage boy came up with this place, which in a way is like the biggest compliment I've ever gotten. It's like the whole point of Ninja City is, you know, Dylan and I were both Asian American guys. We grew up in Cleveland. We've been in Cleveland our whole lives. And for us, you know, this is kind of like our like 12-year-old kids version's like favorite restaurant. You know, it's like everything that we thought was cool. It's like some Asian food, a lot of you know, Midwest comfort foods, things that we love, burgers, sandwiches, combined with like pho, ramen noodles, etc. And then obviously, you know, we grew up loving pop culture, comic books, video games, ninjas, etc. So, you know, when we came up with Ninja City, it was very much, you know, we wanted something that just casual, fun, a simple place that really didn't take itself seriously and kind of combined all the things that we love. Like, you know, there's hip hop music playing, you know, it's a place that I can drink beer and have like Asian noodles and listen to rap music. It's like, like literally the coolest place in the world. Literally the coolest place in the world.
So it's basically your childhood dream come true.
Pretty much,
and good for you to make that happen for yourself.
Yeah.
The food, honestly, I know you said there's some Asian, but it's not all Asian cuisine.
Yeah.
Can we start? So this is a bento box. So
It's
that's
a bento
in my
box.
head. It's traditional Asian, but it's not with what you put in it.
The concept of a bento box is traditional Japanese kind of compartmentalized lunch. What we've done is we have a lot of little bites. So we have entrees, but then we have lots of little bites like wings, guacamole, things like that, dumplings. And our idea is this is kind of like a build your own adventure. You know, you can kind of like make either like a 3 or 4 piece combo, pick the things you like, and you know, some people do this as a meal. Some people come in with a group of friends and they split this as an appetizer.
Oh, it looks so good. These bowls, these are right up my alley.
Yeah. A lot of the Asian dishes we do approach with a pretty traditional, you know, mindset. This is just, you know, old school family recipe, you know, very traditional.
I didn't know how I could eat that on camera without looking like a lady, so I just tried the broth. That is delicious.
Yeah. When you get into it, you got to, you know, slurp up the noodles.
And
you know,
knowing it's a tradition in your family, these are like, it's like a mom's home cooked meal brought to you at a restaurant.
There are some things, like I said, you know, we have a lot of fun with a lot of our recipes. We have our own take on a lot of things, but some things like the pho, we kind of keep really traditional. Like I said, that's Grandma's recipe right there, you know, so.
What about, speaking of fun on a plate, what do you have up there?
These are our steam buns. This is something that over the last, I would say 5 years or so, has become really popular in both Asian and other fusion-y type concepts. It's an open steamed bun.
It's like a taco.
It's basically a little slider taco kind of thing on steamed dough. And then you can pick whatever filling you like. Our specialty is the barbecue pulled pork that we make in-house, so.
That's what we got right there.
Yep,
you
that's
best
my
believe
favorite
I'm
one
going
right
to try
there.
a little bit of all of this when we're done.
Yep.
So then you have fish, so you have a fish platter too.
Yep.
Now those lettuce wraps, those look different than a lettuce wrap I've ever seen.
That's another example of something pretty traditional. So again, I'm Vietnamese, Dylan's Korean. So, you know, not surprisingly, there's a mix of traditional Vietnamese like the pho, and this would be a very traditional Korean dish. These are lettuce wraps here, served with a grilled beef short rib, which in Korean terms would be called kalbi. That is, you know, basically you build your own tacos with kimchi and the rice and everything in there.
So again, even down to the menu, they have this place, just really cool, neat vibe. You're going to enjoy it, and you're absolutely going to love the food. Bach, I think it's time for me to chow down. I waited too long, and I was too ladylike, right?
Don't be shy.
You can join me. How about that?
All right, I'll help you out.
So I'm going to right now take you to a place that is absolutely awesome. It happens to be right across the street. I bet you've been there before. It's called Brew Nuts.
Oh yeah.
There's a look. It's time for us to eat.
Brew Nuts is our own authentic spin on a craft beer-based donut. We combined all our guilty pleasures into one thing. All of our donuts are scratch made, and we infuse them with local craft beers. You think back generations, your grandma always had a beer bread recipe, or somebody in the family had something where you dip a little bit of the booze in there and it makes for a better recipe, right? And with us, it's basically that we can cut down on some of the yeast, some of the natural sugars in the recipe, and let the beer really shine. And that component, it adds an interesting component to the flavor profile too, because what we're doing is we're actually kind of manipulating that core donut recipe and allowing some other things to become prevalent that you may not have tasted before. So what we do is we use the beer as a jumping off point for the recipe, but we still do staple classic donuts as well. We do anywhere between 9 and 12 different flavors a day in the shop. And we have a few classic recipes that are going to be on the menu every single day. We do a maple bacon bourbon ale donut, that's our most popular. We do sort of our classic vanilla, and it's made with Great Lakes Dortmunder, so it's a really rich vanilla, buttery flavored icing. But we really try to stick to a seasonal menu where things are changing pretty frequently. We're using what's ever in season, but also what are the local brewers producing that is giving us inspiration that we want to bake with. Every morning on the weekdays, with the exception of Mondays, we're closed. We open at 6:30 in the morning. And typically we'll stay open until we sell out, which is around 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And then what we do on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday is we reopen for what we call encore hours. And those are really happy hours where you can come back at 4 o'clock and we replenish the donut supply at that time. You'll see people running in and out of the kitchen, bringing fresh trays of donuts, and we really do produce all day long. We knew we wanted to be a donut bar, so we do offer 16 local craft beers on draft here. We have a full bottle and can program in our cooler, and we really stick primarily to 99% of breweries that are in our backyard. So, you know, we kind of toot our horn and say we're Cleveland's only donut bar. Donuts and coffee go together just as well as beer and donuts, in our opinion. And so we have a full espresso service. You can come in and get drip coffee if you want to. You can come in and get a mocha or a latte or a cappuccino. Since we are a bar, we have the option to make it adult and make it boozy. So we carry different things like Bailey's, so you can spike that coffee if you need an extra nip in there. The thing that was most important to us, we didn't want it to look like you could be in any other place but Brew Nuts. We wanted it to feel really authentic, really unique, and also we consistently need to kind of surprise and delight people. This needs to be a place that you come to where your expectations are not only met, but that they're exceeded. Just being able to really over-deliver on an experience was something that was really important to us.
Brew Nuts is right on the corner of 65th and Detroit, but they are closed on Mondays. All right, we'll be back because David is going to play pinball. This should get interesting.
Super electric pinball parlor. Is that the great way to start a little segment here in Gordon Square, right at 65th in Detroit? And I got to tell you, David, when I came in this place, it brings back memories, and it's also rather stimulating.
Yeah, I mean, that's the first thing everyone says. Like, wow, this is, I used to play this when I was a kid, or, you know, like some throwback, you know. To
hey, tell me about the fascination. So you're a grown man, and this is your thing, all these toys. What's the fascination for you, and what keeps it so fascinating?
You know, just started collecting the games, you know, initially because they were interesting. You know, they have great art, a great entertainment factor overall, cool themes.
They talk to you?
They talk to you, yeah. You know, and it never gets old playing them.
They excite you?
You know, like you could play the same game and it always is different each time.
It could disappoint you?
Yeah, for sure.
It could do all different kinds of things. It's fantastic. I heard you on the radio, I think, one time, somebody doing a story that you did something at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So this is one of those things where it's a cultural thing that spans many decades.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like the Pinball Wizard was big, you know, was like, you know,
I went to that concert.
Yeah, Tommy. So, you know, like ever since, I mean, the heyday was basically the 70s. So since the 70s, you know, like it's been a really popular thing. You know, when home, you know, game systems came out, it kind of went down for a little bit, but I think people, you know, like are looking for pinball machines again. You know,
because people sit there with the controllers and they're watching all the video, but this thing is more tactile.
Yeah. They want something physical. You know, and the nice thing is you can play pinball with friends. you know, it's kind of a more social thing.
Yeah. Which is what's happening here.
Yeah, exactly.
So right here on the corner, so you've also got a kitchen. I see you got chicken on the menu, you got spring rolls on the menu, you've got drinks on the menu.
Correct. So we have a full bar, you know, and we serve fried chicken. It's a Korean-style fried chicken with the rice flour batter.
Yeah, some orange soda also. That's sort of a
well, we do have slushies too, so you can get a lemon or right now is a chai slushie. So
you know, what'd be a great idea is if you could bring a bunch of people in here and have a party.
You can do that. We rent out the space for parties and events. Yeah, it's awesome. You know, birthday parties, bar mitzvahs, retirements. You know, you name it, we can do it all.
And you see people of all ages, right?
Correct. Yeah, I mean that's it. The nice thing is, so you're coming into a place. It's an arcade, of course. You know, like kids are gonna love it, and they're like, "Wow, this is awesome!" And then they see their grandparents playing it, and they're like, "Wait, that's a little odd." You know, like they're not used to their grandparents, like you know, hopping on the video game or something like that. But with pinball, it's like, well, this is all we had. This is all we did. You know, they're experts. So.
There are some cool places here too. So we're out in the open. You can see 65th and Detroit out here. You can see the whole area, and then in the back it's sort of like going into somebody's basement.
Yeah, that's our dad's den. We specifically designed that to make it look like dad's den.
I saw a shirt over here. I love it. It says "Make America Cleveland Again." Now, that is unbelievable.
You know, that's kind of that's where we're at. That's what we identify. You know, like we came to this neighborhood in this area because we love Cleveland. We love Gordon Square.
So it's terrific. And talking about great spots at Gordon Square. Pizza. You like pizza?
I love it. You know
any good places around here?
Well, I sure do. Il Rione. It's got the best pizza in this neighborhood.
Il Rione Pizzeria. Check it out.
We are at Il Rione Pizzeria. It is a New York style pizzeria in Gordon Square. So I'm from New Jersey. I moved to Cleveland about 11 years ago. I love this town. It's so awesome. But I just missed pizza from home. I just became totally infatuated with making the perfect pizza, or just kind of replicating pizza that I had from home. When I was in grad school, I used to work at Stone Man right across the street. Brian, my partner, he was one of the cooks. I said, man, this town needs a New York style pizzeria. He looked at me, he's like, I think you're right.
I was really focused on the crust. I was kind of inspired by a time that I lived in Paris, and I was kind of searching the city for an amazing baguette, and so I kind of fell in love with very high quality, good bread. I thought that if I could recreate that in kind of a pizza crust, then I think we would be onto something.
Yeah. With New York style pizzas, we use these Blajet deck ovens, and there's big, huge stones on the bottom, and we put the pizza and the dough right on the stone, so it cooks and has a little more of a crispier crust. It's just kind of a thinner crust, a little simpler. We don't have any barbecue chicken pizza or anything crazy like that. We have like pretty simple enough ingredients. We have a white pizza that is mozzarella, ricotta cheese, olive oil, and garlic. And then we have a marinara pizza, which is no cheese. And then we have suggested pies. There's a clam pizza that we were inspired by Frank Pepe's from New Haven, Connecticut.
So they're pretty world famous for their clam pie. It's an old kind of industrial town on the coast of Connecticut, so that was kind of peasant food for them because they had abundance of clams, they had a large Italian community. It's a complete rip-off, but it's, you know, it's just a beautiful combination of ingredients.
Il Rione means the district or the ward or the neighborhood. Rome is divided into, I think, 22 rionis. And each rione in Italy has like a neighborhood symbol and pride. And we want to make sure that people kind of remember that this has been a neighborhood for a long time, and we wanted to kind of pay respects to this West Side Little Italy, as they call it. It was a Romanian bar about 100 years ago, so we were gutting it. We took down all the walls. I was just gonna paint it white, and everyone who came in is like, oh man, these walls are nuts, this is so cool. It's cool because like this brown paint there, like that was the paint in the pool hall 100 years ago. Like I love that idea, like I love the fact that like we're sitting in this place, hanging out at a place that people were hanging out 100 years ago, having a few beers. Everything happens in this one big room, you know, like we're calling to-go orders. I'm yelling to-go orders to him. I can go over there and, you know, heckle him while he's making pizzas. People come in, they see that.
There's a lot of personal interaction that I think people are tending to crave as opposed to, you know, big chain restaurants. We were coming into this old Italian neighborhood, and we kind of wanted to pay homage to the history down here and, you know, the food culture that these Italian people around here have lived with their entire lives.
All we want to do is act silly. All we want to do is have fun. That is it. There's no pretentiousness. At least I don't think I'm pretentious. Maybe I am, but we just want to have a blast each and every day we come in here, and I think we do.
So if you come down here for a little pizza, remember they're open Tuesday through Saturday and they open at 4. And guess what? More New Day Cleveland right after the break.
Welcome back. You know, they don't call it Gordon Square Art District for nothing, right? So I have Carrie with me, who happens to be the president of the Gordon Square Art District, and we happen to be standing in front of one of the 8 amazing murals that you have that people can walk along Detroit Avenue and just take in.
Right, we just a few months ago finished installing 8 murals in the neighborhood. On our website, you can access the Gordon Square mural walking tour, and we have postcards that can help guide you as well. But 7 local artists put up 8 murals, and it's pretty amazing.
They're absolutely unbelievable. I mean, they take up, like this one, the entire wall of the building. And I think that gets people, you know, no matter what time of year it is, out and about walking along Detroit. So you're not just getting into some of the great restaurants and stores, but you're seeing the art that really has encapsulated this whole area.
Yes, we have 6 different theaters in the neighborhood, 60
That's a lot.
artists, studios, and galleries. You know, about 20 pieces of public art and murals, so there's a lot to see.
Let's go through some of those, starting with the theaters. 6 different theaters.
Six different theaters, it is. We started just 10 years ago with only Cleveland Public Theater. And now we have Near West Theater, we have Blank Canvas Theater over in 78th Street Studios, we have Tailspinner Children's Theater, we have Maelstrom Collaborative Arts, and we have the Capitol Theater, which is a movie theater as opposed to the other ones, which are performing arts.
Which I've seen some good flicks there too at the Capitol Theater. And I feel like coming to a theater here, I want to say it kind of takes you back in time a little bit. You feel like you're not in these big commercialized theaters, and I feel like that's what also sets this area apart.
Right, several of them are old historic theaters that date back many decades. The Capitol Theater was initially a vaudeville theater and a silent film theater, and that was rescued and restored. Cleveland Public Theater was an old, I think, dance hall theater, and now they have 4 different performance spaces on their campus. So there's a lot of places to take in theater and art.
And you mentioned 78th Street Studios?
Yes.
There's a lot, I mean, when you talk about artists,
yes.
I mean, there are dozens of artists in one space.
Yeah, there's actually 60 different artist studios, galleries, and art-based businesses in 78th Street Studios. Around the turn of the century, it was Baker Electric Motors, you know, electric cars dating back to the 1900s. In the 80s, it was American Greetings Creative Studios. And today, the owner has worked to develop it and curate it to be artist studios and galleries.
I feel like there was clearly a draw for there, so there was clearly a need to want to make sure that we keep artistry alive and well in Cleveland.
Yes, we had a very specific focus of arts-based development in Gordon Square, dating back about 10 years ago, building off of Cleveland Public Theater, and then Gordon Square Arts District collectively with a number of nonprofit organizations raised $30 million to build new theaters and renovate the neighborhood, and we still keep going today.
Well, there again is just one more reason to come here to Gordon Square. You can do so much on one street and take in so many great things, including a place called Banter, which you might have been to once or twice before.
Poutine.
They have great poutine, they have great craft beers, and well, I guess that's all you really need to know, but here's a closer look too.
Banter is essentially a beer and wine store with a small kitchen and bar. We carry roughly 300 different wines, up to 400 different beers. Everything is priced at a retail price, and then we allow drink-in for like a small corkage fee. And then we have our small little kitchen. We do Canadian-style poutine. It is essentially the Canadian national dish. It's the ultimate comfort food. It is, at its core, it is French fries, gravy, and fresh cheese curds. We have the basic poutine, which we call our Banter poutine. And then we do a bunch of different variations. We do like a chicken paprikash poutine. We do a Vladimir poutine, which is where we take lamb, we make a borscht gravy out of it, mix it into our gravy, and put it on top of the fries and curds. We do a foie gras poutine. We do all, like, I think there's 10 different variations. We do get a lot of questions like, what is poutine? So we kind of might lean them towards trying just the basic poutine, but then we also try to gear them towards something familiar like the chicken paprikash. Everyone in Cleveland has probably had paprikash at some point in their life, so we might try to steer them towards that. Well, I think first and foremost, I think we wanted to be one of the best beer and wine stores in Cleveland. Like I said, we have a whole variety of beer and wine. A lot of our wines are small boutique wines that you're not going to find at like big grocery stores or anything like that. And then our beer, we wanted to focus mostly on craft beer. Just that industry has been such on the rise that we wanted to really focus on that so that people can come and find the hard to find stuff and try something that they haven't had before. We're talking roughly 400 different types of beer. All of them craft, aside from, I think we do have some PBR in the house. But everything, again, is craft from all over the world. We do have a pretty good focus on North American craft beers. We do carry quite a few imports, hard to find stuff. And the way that we work is we have plenty of stuff by the 6-pack, 4-pack, 12-pack. We also have the ability of create your own 6-packs. We have a bunch of singled out bottles, and everything is priced individually if it's singled out. So you can mix your own 6-pack, or if you like, you can open one here on premise, and then we just charge a small corkage fee to open one of the bottles here. So this is what we call the wine room. As you can see, we have quite a variety. We have up to 350 different wines at the moment. Everything along this shelf is all curated, mostly from the West Coast of America. We have a lot of stuff from Washington State, Oregon, as well as California. And then over on these shelves is a lot of our imported wines, again from small boutique vineyards throughout France, Italy, even some South America wines from Chile and Argentina. Usually everybody has a style that they go for. A lot of people like sweet wines, a lot of people like drier wines. It really depends on what you do. And so, one, we have a great staff that actually knows what wines they're talking about, so we're able to answer questions. And we actually can offer samples if you want to try something before you buy it. It's kind of the unique thing about us. In our bar area, we have seating for roughly 30 people, and then we have additional seating, which is what we call our wine room, for about another 20. So overall, we could sit about 50 people. We didn't want to do a traditional bar. We kind of wanted a place where people can experience new things and kind of talk about it. The word banter is just like kind of soft conversation between friends, and so we kind of want to keep that atmosphere as well. It's more geared towards light conversation and hanging out with friends.
Now I have to try some of that poutine. I gotta get me some of that. So again, Banter is open 7 days a week. They're right here on Detroit Avenue. We're going to check out a great stop that has awesome bags when we come back.
Welcome back to New Day Cleveland. This is our special road trip to the Gordon Square area. We're at 65th and Detroit right now at the Gypsy Beans, and I'm with Nicole. When I come in here, usually it's for the coffee. I love the coffee. I've held off on the coffee just to have your coffee today.
I know, you love our coffee.
And all your beautiful pastries and delicious stuff.
Thank you so much.
But I discovered your food, your savory food for lunch, which is fantastic. She's going to show us how to make what?
Our chicken salad croissant with dried pecans and cranberries.
We got a whole bunch of stuff out here.
Yeah, so we roast our chicken from Dion's at the West Side Market.
Okay, look.
So what you're going to do is you're going to get rid of all the skin.
These chickens
So start peeling this all apart.
That's why I put the gloves on.
Yep, what we want to do with the leftovers is we're going to make chicken stock because we make all of our soups from scratch in-house. So to get really good soup,
this is why your chicken salad's so good.
This is why the chicken salad's so good.
This is why your chicken soup's so good.
This is why our chicken soup's so good.
Hey, while we're making this stuff, who makes all the other stuff that I love out front, like all those beautiful donuts, the muffins, the cakes, the cheesecakes, all that?
Me.
Wow. You must go through a lot of gloves.
We do. We
can't use the chicken gloves or the muffins.
I have two lovely ladies that help me in the kitchen.
Whoa!
One is a young lady that has been with me for 2 years now, and she has learned so much about cooking and baking. And then I have one.
Does she make the coffee out there too?
She doesn't. She stays back here with me, so I don't let her out front unless because we're really, really, really busy
Ooh,
because
that's
I need her back here, and
Okay.
she's invaluable.
Okay, well, let's move to the next station.
Yeah, and
Well,
then this will get
Should we
filled
put
with-
some pecans in here and some
Oh
mayonnaise?
yeah, they're right there.
Okay, I'm afraid to touch. Can I touch it?
Yeah, touch it, and then
Okay, how much?
all of those.
All?
Yeah, because I'm gonna come back and
Wow,
finish
you
this
don't
after
mess
you're
around.
gone.
Okay.
And then we put that in there.
Can I mix that with my
Mix
hand?
that with your other hand. Yep.
Ugh. You know, I think I can cook because I do it on TV and I do it at home.
Not so much.
But you really cook back
We
here,
really
man.
cook.
You don't mess around.
So
Okay.
then that will go on one of our
Okay.
croissants,
Oh, wow, look at
which
that.
we make here too. That's a little juicy, but it will be okay by the time we get the other chicken in it.
Okay.
And it's still gonna taste good. So if you want
Okay.
to put a little scoop on that.
Okay. Am I stingy?
Hypothetically,
Am I stingy?
a little bit, but that's okay.
I'm stingy. It's terrible.
So then this would actually get served with one of our sides, potato salad, black bean salsa,
Uh-huh.
or any of our soups.
Hey, I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
So you're talking about you put all the bones in here. So
Yep.
is that what all these carrots and everything are for?
Yeah, so we peeled all this and got this all ready. So this will be our finish for our soup once we just strain our stock.
Uh-huh.
So the rest of those bones are gonna get here. This is gonna fill with water and it's gonna go in our oven for like 3 hours.
So when you come here to Gypsy Beans, you're getting like homemade soup,
real.
homemade chicken salad
Yes.
sandwiches. What
Yes.
else really homemade?
All of it.
All of it.
The pizza dough that we make is my grandma's recipe. I've been making it with her since I was 3 years
What's
old.
the biggest selling sandwich out there?
Oh my goodness, the Mediterranean chicken sandwich that my husband made up.
Oh, that's
And
pretty
it's
good.
a chicken breast, roasted peppers and onions, capers, and fresh mozzarella cheese on
Mm-hmm.
a rustic hoagie pressed as a panini, and it is out of this world.
Sounds good. Hey, when you get all the pastries and the
Mm-hmm.
coffees and all that, what's the most popular thing out there?
The Mexico City latte, I think, is one of our favorites. It's cinnamon and hazelnut, and it
Uh-huh.
doesn't taste like either. And the pastry, I think, is our cinnamon rolls.
Cinnamon
Those are
rolls.
made from scratch too.
All great stuff.
They look like this.
Oh, look at that.
And then they get topped with our cream cheese buttercream icing.
Wow. I love it when you come on the show on the set, but it's so much fun to come here to visit
Thanks.
Gypsy Beans. Back
You've
behind
never
the
been in the
scenes.
kitchen.
I've never been in the kitchen. That's because I'm out front eating
Yep,
all this stuff.
all
Look,
the good stuff.
I got the proof of it
Oh,
right
I'm
here.
gonna go that far.
It's beautiful stuff.
Thank
a lot
you
of great
so
stuff.
much.
Hey, so we're having a great time at Gordon Square. It's a
Yes.
beautiful area, right? So we're going to go to a boutique right now that has some really cool stuff for the house.
Oh, they're awesome.
Artful Living is a boutique about lifestyle. I call it a lifestyle boutique, and you see those coming up more and more these days. If you've heard of Anthropology or Pottery Barn, those are considered lifestyle boutiques. You're buying into a certain specific lifestyle. Here I carry primarily handmade products, local artist products for the home, so functional art for the home. But I also carry holistic teas, I carry jewelry. So it's the whole, you're getting the whole basket, I guess. I do think people like to come in and they like to see what Cleveland area artists are doing. And we do come from such a creative city. So we're lucky to be here, and I'm lucky to be able to display it for people. It's kind of like, what I like about it is you don't have to go to festival to festival to festival. You can just come here any time of the year and find your artist, your favorite artist.
I feel like a lot of my work translate really well into this space because I try to have a light in my work that kind of brings on happiness. I do a lot of nature scenes, which I feel people can really connect to. It's something all of us have in common.
It gives us an opportunity that's more intimate than the usual taverns that we play in. You can interact a lot, you can interact differently, and because people aren't coming here specifically to hear music, sometimes it's a surprise, but you get a chance to talk to them about what they're hearing, what they like, and I think it gives us a more genuine experience to play more intimately for people in this kind of setting.
I just got my certification for aromatherapy. Part of what we do at the shop as a lifestyle store is to try to educate people to essential oils and floral remedies, things that you can use in your home. People love it when they come in. The first thing they notice is the aroma, so I'm very happy about that. And then I do tell them that I give classes, free classes to the community for essential oils so that they can learn how to do that at home themselves. And I carry the diffusers, I carry a lot of different aromatherapy type things. They even have something now that you can put on your computer. It's a little, you just slide it into your USB port and you get a little lift. You can put eucalyptus on there or citrus if you like orange. It just helps wake you up and focus you a little better when you're at work. The first time coming in, I think just come in happy. Come in to look around and, even if you just want to browse and see what the local artists are doing, it's a great little boutique to kind of walk through before you go to the theater in the evening or before you go to dinner. We have so many great spots here to go to. So that was kind of the theory behind it. We would be kind of a nice little browser store.
Ooh, I like what you're doing right now.
Oh, thank you. These are yummy.
Hey, if you want to check out Artful Living, they're on 67th Street and they're open Wednesday to Saturday. I'm gonna keep eating muffins here with my girl. Nicole, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you for coming.
More New Day Cleveland coming up after the break.
Welcome back to our road show here in Gordon Square. This is a must stop, and you will soon see why. We are here at Fountain. I have Jackie with me.
Hi.
Jackie, your place, I've come to grow and love your place for years now.
Yeah.
I remember when you weren't even in this location yet, and now you have this beautiful storefront here, and your bags, well, I think they've gone viral almost in a way. They just are flying off the shelves. Everybody loves your bags.
Thank you. That
You've come a long way, haven't you?
Well, it has been a journey, and it blows my mind where we're at today. From starting in our apartment 4.5 years ago in a tiny, tiny room to having a great team that helps us out and makes the bags. And we have a lot of fun with it. And it's been really cool to see Cleveland so supportive, but even the whole country has been supportive. So we would love it if people come out and check out the store.
You will fall in love if you want a good bag that will last you for a lifetime.
Lifetime, yeah, they all have a lifetime warranty.
So keep that in mind. You got to see some of these great things. We're going to turn around because I know since the last time I've been here, you've added some new bags too.
Yes,
You're
totally.
always doing new and inventive
yeah,
things
we do
you and your husband.
Like 3 to 5 new designs a year. So this one's the roundabout, which we're really excited about. You can choose to use a chain or have a chain on it or a leather strap, and it comes in black or brown. It's a very structured bag, and it's got lots of really cute pockets inside. So you can ditch the wallet for the day. It's a great going out bag. So it's been a hit.
Now the Atlas bag, you have it in several different sizes.
Yeah, so one thing our customers tell us is that they want more size options. So we really try to listen to that. And so the Atlas bag first launched in this petite size, and then we heard customers saying they'd love it as a work bag. So we launched the medium size, which does have a crossbody option, and then the grand, which is great for traveling. So it just depends on what your needs are and what kind of use you're looking for with the bags.
Speaking of traveling, come here once I will come over here. I want to show you. I just want to grab this because I know that you've always had great backpacks, but you've kind of reinvented this one.
Yeah.
So I wanted to show you this, how neat, and not only does it look amazing, but you have a little secret compartment, huh?
Yes, there is a secret compartment. When we first prototyped this bag, the big problem was that we never had somewhere to stick our phone. If you're wearing a dress and you don't have a place for your phone in your pockets, we needed a spot for our phone, but it's also really useful if you're traveling and want to stash your passport or your wallet or things that are valuable. You can keep them secure against your back. It's also got reinforced straps that are super comfy and a reinforced piece here. And we now have custom buckles that we've designed exclusively for Fountain. So we're really excited about that.
Put this on. Let's just keep walking here.
Go ahead and model for us.
I'm gonna not that I would know how to model a backpack, but we're just there you go. There you go. So if we come up here too, I know it's not just about you have the great, beautiful bags, but you have little wristlets.
Yeah.
You have bags of all sizes.
We reinvented this year too. This is our wallet that we've had for a few years, but we've revisited it this year. So it's got new and improved pockets inside, which we're really excited about, all the different compartments. We call it 2018, like back to the drawing board, like just kind of revisiting some of our current designs. So, and it also has the wristlet option or without, depending on what your needs are, and you can still fit your phone in there. So you can use that as a clutch when you're going out or just running into the grocery store or to dinner and just ditch the big bag.
And it's not just about the ladies too. I know you have great things for men. Those, the big totes that you have, the big duffel bags, I should say.
Yes, duffel bags.
The duffel bags are gorgeous. Come and check out their store here. Again, it's right in Gordon Square, right in the heart of things. Jackie, I love you and Philip. I love your place. It's absolutely amazing. I know you have the new place in Columbus too. So they are just growing and spreading. And so glad to know the Cleveland Zone is doing such wonderful things.
Thank you.
Jackie, thank you so much. I love you guys. I love you guys seriously so much. Come check them out. You know where else you have to go when you're here? It's a place that's called Astoria. I bet you've been there before.
So good. Yeah.
Not only
it's
is
a neighborhood gem.
it a great market, it's a great gem, but they also have eaten food too that you can go and get. So you just got to see it.
Yeah.
We got mushroom pizza and extended salad with ranch.
Astoria is a Greek word meaning star. We wanted to have a name that was easy to roll off the tongue. We have a wine selection that features all Mediterranean wine. We also have a deli case that's just loaded with cheeses from all around the world. Charcuterie, we have about 50 different olives from the Mediterranean region. We also have our grocery items that people can get that hard to find items that they may not see anywhere else. We have a full menu that's open from 11 o'clock Tuesday through Saturday, and then we have a brunch. You literally can order octopus, sandwiches, pizzas, rack of lamb.
Pizza in 9 minutes.
Chef Corey has been amazing. I consider him the grandchild, more or less, of Emeril Lagasse. Corey's former employer trained under Emeril. So Corey trained under that, so kind of a grandchild. He brings a lot of neat, cool, different twists on a lot of the items we serve.
Show you how we do our signature dish at Astoria, a nice poached and grilled octopus. Poach it for about anywhere from an hour and a half to about an hour and 45 minutes. From there you do the grilling process, let's say about a minute to a minute and a half each side. That will, give it that nice charcoal grill flavor. Then from there we'll do the plating. We'll cut little pinwheels out of the octopus tentacle and arrange the plate however you feel. We're gonna drizzle it with a little olive oil, lemon juice, little fresh herbs, and an accompaniment of arugula salad with some roasted red peppers.
Here we have our classic combination of a charcuterie and cheese board featuring artisan cheeses, both from the US and from Europe. We have all of these items available in our cheese and charcuterie case, as well as the olives and all of the accompaniments.
We have a full bar menu, and what's unique is that we have 20 wines behind the bar. If you do not like those, you can walk over to our wine rack or to our beer cooler and pick something there that you like, and you could have that with your meal. You have only so many hours in the day that you have time to relax, and I want my staff to treat each person as a king or queen. We want them to feel that our home is their home.
If you would like to check out Astoria, it is right here on Detroit Avenue. But like a lot of other places, including Founts and Astoria, they are closed on Mondays, so keep that in mind. We will be back from Gordon Square after this short break.
Welcome back to New Day Cleveland. It's our road trip to Gordon Square, and we're a little bit off the path thanks to Ralph here and Terrestrial Brewing Company.
Glad you came by.
Well, we're glad we're here, and we're just a little more towards Battery Park, so right down the street on 73rd Street, right?
Yep, up right on top of Edgewater Parks Beach, basically.
And what's this big, beautiful building we're in?
So this is Terrestrial Brewing Company. It was once a battery factory back in the day. Eveready owned it. They produced the first 9-volt batteries in the country out of this building, which is kind of unique. Kind of sat dilapidated and then was kind of revamped and revitalized, and it's what you see here now.
And Ralph has found a new way to get a jolt out of the place, because we're talking about a great brewery here with a whole bunch of great stuff here. And he's put out some flavors here for us on this beautiful little board here. And how long have you guys been brewing here?
So we've been open about 1.5 years.
Great looking spot. So what's going on with the beer here?
All right, so
where would you start?
We're going to start in the top left here, and I kind of chose 4 pretty unique beers to kind of get a wide variety of flavors and kind of give you an understanding of what we do here.
This comes out of a pretty unique tap too, I saw over there.
Yes, so we have something here called an infusion tower. So that's our house Pilsner called Public Pilsner, and with the ability to run it through a nice tower that we can really flash infuse with any ingredients that we want. So what you're drinking now is our Pilsner flash infused with hibiscus, which is why it's that pretty red color.
Oh, how about that?
And then a little bit of habanero pepper, not too much to be real spicy, but it's kind of just mellow and blended right in.
Yeah, it is a soft Pilsner in a way, and it's got the hibiscus thing going on, but in the background there's a tiny, tiny little spark.
It reminds you that you're drinking something with a little bit of spice to it, but it gives us another way to kind of take a different take on a beer. We let our bartenders kind of be creative, and they use whatever ingredients they want.
I was walking around the place, a great place, beautiful place that I was saying before. It is clean machine. But I saw a bunch of weird goblets hanging on the wall there, glass goblets.
Yeah, so we partnered with the Glass Bubble Project in Ohio City. We have a mug club. So people are able to buy into our mug club. We typically sell it right around the beginning of October. And their mug lives on the wall. Every time they come in, they drink out of their mug, and they get $1 off their beers for the entire year, and look pretty cool with a fancy mug in their hand.
And then I couldn't believe it. It looked like there's some people get on the floor and drink their beer because they look like dog dishes.
So we're very dog friendly here. It's something that kind of defines us, and we have a dog bowl club. So people can buy a bowl for their dog that lives here with their name on it, and they come in, they get treats presented to them in their bowl. And then once a month, we randomly draw a name, and I will brew a beer based off the traits of that dog, which seems a little weird, but it works out really well.
And your partner, Ryan, was telling me a little bit, something about turtles.
Yes. So I guess we can go on to the next beer
what is this
here.
One?
So that's the beer we actually made for the Splash Fund at the Cleveland Aquarium.
So this has to do with the turtles.
Absolutely. So every pint purchased in our tap room, we donate $1 to the Splash Fund, and ultimately goes to saving the spotted turtles, which are near endangered in Ohio.
You could save a few turtles with this. It's pretty good. This is great.
Yeah, so we're inspired by kind of that desserty chocolate candy of the turtle. So we use pecans in it. Chocolate, there's a little bit of coffee and some caramel to kind of, again, accentuate that dessert.
And you know, you say all those things and they sound a little wacky to somebody who's just used to opening up a Budweiser or something, but all these little flavors are so subtle and great and delicious. I like both these beers a lot. What's the next one to try?
So the next one is called Lupo. And it is our wet hop beer. So it's something exciting that we
Lupo, it's like a wolf.
A little bit. So there's something called lupulin in hops, and it's not, without sounding nerdy, it's the goodness, almost the essential oils in the hops themselves.
And what's this last one?
Last one is a beer inspired by A Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which I'm a big fan of, but it's called the beer served at the restaurant at the end of the universe.
There it is.
But it's a double IPA. Made with a local malting company called House Malts.
That's fantastic. So we're talking about Gordon Square. We're in Battery Park, right down 73rd Street. Easy to find in this beautiful building with the giant smokestack on the top of it. So it's easy to find.
Can't miss us.
Well, that's going to do it for our very special road trip here to Gordon Square. And just remember, just a few minutes from the downtown area, 65th and Detroit. And if you haven't been here in a couple of years, things have changed a lot. Still the great old theaters, restaurants, and all kinds of great stuff, but some new stuff too, like Terrestrial Brewing. So I think you're going to have a great time. Natalie and I did. And for Natalie Herbeck, I say, I'm David Moss, and we'll see you on the next New Day Cleveland. So long.